Just imagine, years ago you got a conviction and a criminal record for possessing a small amount of cannabis. Today you have a family and you want to coach your kid's soccer team. If the school is asking you, have you ever been convicted of a criminal offense? You're legally bound to answer yes with a pardon. With an expungement, you can honestly answer no, because under the law, it's deemed never to have happened. Parents should not have to sit on the sidelines for something that is now completely illegal. Why won't Liberals understand this?
Hear, hear.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, marijuana is now legal in Canada because the previous approach, prohibition, failed to adequately protect our kids and allowed criminals to make massive profits. By controlling and regulating the production and sale of marijuana, we will better be able to protect our communities, protect our kids, and ensure that public safety and public health are properly protected by our country.
Mr. Speaker, that answer has nothing to do with the question. The Minister of Public Safety refused to expunge criminal records for simple possession of marijuana. There's no historic injustice in his opinion, but let's look at the numbers. 3 times more black people in Toronto and 5 times people in Halifax have criminal records for simple possession of marijuana. Indigenous and racialized people have been subjected to historic systemic injustice in Canada, and now they have a higher number of criminal records for similar behavior. Will the Prime Minister support the solution of my colleague from Victoria? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, we recognize that the old system of prohibition had a negative impact on marginalized communities as well as visible minorities. We know that it is important to offer them pardons and to offer them quickly in order to offer them every opportunity to succeed in the labour market and in their communities. That is why we have a rapid and free system to grant pardons. The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. Mr. Speaker, that's interesting because if the Prime Minister recognizes that the old system didn't work, he should also understand that suspending criminal records that happened under that old system is very different than to expunge them and to ensure that people can travel more easily, get visas, and not live under a system where it would be easy to have that file be reactivated. The member for Victoria on the ADP did the work. There's already a bill on the order paper that would do exactly what we want, which is to expunge criminal records. Will he support it, yes or no? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, we wanted to suspend criminal records for LGBTQ community members who were discriminated against by the government. We've always recognized, and we still recognize, that it is important to protect communities, to protect our youth from marijuana. That is why we will continue to control and regulate marijuana. And in this case, pardons are the appropriate measure to help all those who have criminal records on that level.
Belleuil-Chambly.
The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly.
By taking action to legalize and by stating clearly that he believes that the war on drugs failed and recognizing a historic injustice when it's been pointed out so clearly that the war in drugs is racist, and the fact that we see vulnerable Canadians, racialized Canadians, Indigenous people more disproportionately affected by this. So I'll ask the question again, Mr. Speaker, knowing full well that the Prime Minister knows the difference between a record suspension, which was once called a pardon, and expungement. Will they, yes or no, favor expungement over pardons and finally really end this discrimination?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we recognize the unfair impact that the prohibition had on marginalized and racialized communities across this country. That's one of the reasons why we're moving forward with a system that will control and regulate the sale of marijuana. That's also why we're moving forward on a pardon system that will be free and fast in order to make sure that the stigma of a criminal record does not follow these disproportionately marginalized people for the rest of their lives.
Honourable